This is just an impromptu little stream. I am Jack McBastard, broadcasting for all your base online and digital Fiasco. This is SUPERHYPERCUBE from Polytron, a puzzle game that, on first glance, doesn't look like anything I would enjoy, but turns out to be super addictive. Even though the graphics are extremely, what I initially had thought was simplistic, is obviously a design choice. It comes across as very clean, very efficient design, even right down to the menus in 3D. This being a VR title, obviously your experience is going to be somewhat limited, but bear with me, I'll try to demonstrate why this is such an incredible title. So right away you see even the tutorial for such a simple game is very cleanly presented, very easy to grasp and understand. For someone who's never played the game before, coming into this and playing it is a simple matter of simply clicking the right buttons to go with it. So the shoulder buttons rotate the cube. Left and right on the D-pad, or up and down, as well as on the stick itself, will rotate the cube in the appropriate directions. Once you've successfully completed the very simple tutorial, you're into the game itself. So you'll see right away that every element of the game is presented in a very easy to understand fashion. The menus themselves respond to direct vision, so you can see my somewhat miserable scores, but it's very clear to see which one you're activating, how to go ahead. And immediately you can see the game is presented very simply. You have a three-dimensional cube to start with. Your UI hovers around the cube. You have to maneuver that cube through the hole that you are rushing towards in the wall. Each time you successfully pass through your hole in the wall, you get an additional cube added to your shape, which gradually gets larger. You can press the X button at any time to boost through the wall and get a slight bonus based on the amount of time it takes you to orient the shape correctly. And every time, additional cubes are added to make your task of lining them up slightly more challenging. Now, you see in the upper right-hand corner of my UI here that there is a clock meter. The faster you respond and orient the shape correctly, the more time you'll get, which will slowly charge up your hyperfocus meter. You'll always have this interface on your controller to indicate what the individual controls do, so you can see at a glance just by looking down at the 3D representation of the controller actually in your hands which function each button corresponds to. So as you build up time, eventually you're going to gain access to this hyperfocus, which actually allows you, if you cannot make the shape match in time, an additional couple of seconds to orient yourself correctly and try to make it through the hole unscathed. So far I've reached the end of the first level. I'm on to level 2, and as you can see, with each level comes additional additional challenge. Crap, you're gonna see here first, nope. Okay. If you don't manage to line up the shape correctly to the hole, you see I've lost some of the cubes that I had built up, which directly corresponds to the amount of points that I'm getting for each time through the hole. And you can see now my hyperfocus has been charged up, so it's flashing to indicate that. There's an audible chime. So all told, there we are. It's very easy to understand at any given point what you have and have not got available to you. Oh, that's not right. There we go. The environments themselves are simple, but they're presented in such a way that it is very calm and pleasant environment to have a nervous breakdown in as... Oh, crap, that's a lot of cubes. As more and more cubes are added and time becomes more of a factor. It is strictly a points-based game, but the loop is such that... oh, wow. Wait. There we go. The loop is such that it encourages you to try it again, and it's actually a great demonstration of VR at a simple level for someone who's never actually used it before to experience and enjoy. It's definitely a great game to play at parties, handing it off to people as you miserably screw up. And these... Oh no, that's totally wrong. These rotating walls always give me grief. And you have a little teardown at the end where you can actually go up to the cube and see where had that been rotated 90 degrees. 90 degrees, yeah. Where if that had been rotated 90 degrees, it would have gone through the hole. So obviously, chaining your successes together gives you additional points, gets you a higher score. I personally, being not a fantastic Tetris player, have only, I believe, made it to level 4, and each of the levels gives you additional challenges, additional cubes, higher scores, and unusual things like the rotating walls, which always make me kind of nervous. Eventually, if you build up your smash meter, which is the right meter, you can actually bust directly through the wall, negating any kind of problem you might have with orienting it correctly. That meter takes a great deal of time to build up, so for a novice player like myself, generally you only get it maybe once per game. So make sure to use that at an appropriate time. Even though the environment is very basic, it's definitely eye-catching and has a distinct design principle and behind it. It definitely feels like a real physical environment you're flying through, manipulating this cube in 3 dimensions. And this is... Oh no, this is not going to be good. Oh, there it is. It's a fun little game and such a basic concept, but... Oh no! Oh, very hard on the nerves at times. You usually get a couple seconds of break between levels, but it only serves to underline how badly you get screwed with each successive level as they add more and more to it. And that smash meter does not build up as quickly as I would like. If you have a good grasp of spatial acuity, you'll probably be fine. At least have a leg up over some people that have difficulty translating how a 3-dimensional object fits through a 2-dimensional hole. Wow, that's a lot of cubes. Oh crap. Nope. Yes? Okay. It's interesting because you actually have to look around the object, so your success in the game translates to more difficulty depending on the... That's not right. Oh. There we go. Depending on the size and orientation of the cubes that actually get attached. It's different every time because you never know how things are going to line up. It's always random. And you have to physically look around the object to see the hole in the wall that you're hurtling towards. Oh, this isn't going to be good. Is that it? Oh, yes. Oh. In that situation, I probably could have used my hyper focus to see, but obviously it's best to save that for when you're really, really in trouble. And as these levels get more and more complicated, that happens with disturbing regularity. And these are always the best. Crap. Nope. Okay. So here we are, level 3. Each level has its own design, so you can see just at a glance without having to... Oh my god, that's a lot of cubes. Without having to look up at your level counter where you actually are. Oh. I'm having actually a pretty good run here, so... And there is a... Here we get to see the hyperfocus until I'm about to screw up. There we go. Obviously, as you use your hyperfocus, your meter drains appropriate with the amount of time it's taking you to actually sort out the direction and orientation of the shape. You never have to move it left and right or up and down. It's always lined up with the hole, so it's up to you to figure out in short order what the correct orientation is without having to worry about placement as well. So even for someone who doesn't play this kind of game, it's very easy to pick up on, and wow, I really thought I had that. And it doesn't unduly punish you for not orienting things correctly because of the... That doesn't look right. There we go. Because of the ability to pass through a hole partially. I haven't exactly figured out what the logic is behind how many blocks you can lose before you're outright failed out of the game. Oh my god. But it is definitely one that takes time and skill to master, patience especially, but just the calming music and the visuals, it's very subtle, and really, when you're not playing it, there's always this itch to get back to it. Yeah, it's good a game to pick up... Crap. To pick up and play for, you know, half an hour here and there. Come back to it as many times as you want. If you have a party, that is too many cubes. If you have a party, to pull this out to show off your VR, and it will be the sleeper hit. People will... Oh my god. Yeah, it is definitely difficult to do a review while trying to play this in live. Oh my... Are you kidding me? Okay, Oh. No. Oh. See, right now, as the shape becomes more and more irregular, it becomes difficult to visualize in 3 dimensions the appropriate... Yes? No, that's gonna be bad. No! Oh, crap. The appropriate shape to put through the hole. This is terrible. Yeah, I think this is the last time I try to do one of these reviews live, because this is... Oh. Damn it. So very stressful. But even after going for quite a bit of time there, I am just itching to get back into the game. And this not being my kind of game, it's really an accomplishment for something like this to pull you in and engage you. It'd be easy enough to pass this around to people so they can all try it one at a time. And it's really easy to pick up and play and just enjoy right off the hop. So, for those of you who are looking for another PSVR game to pick up and play, to show off to your friends and enjoy, even if you don't like puzzle games or reaction games like this, I'd say give it a go. It's an excellent game. I've enjoyed it greatly, and it's one of the few that, even after playing for a good length of time, you know, the next day I find myself thinking, you know, I could really go for some Super Hypercube right about now. It really is an accomplishment. Ooh, nope. And a very, very clear representation of what a VR game can be and how it can be a distinctly different experience than one you might have with a traditional 2D console game. It is really something that has to be seen and experienced to be believed, but 5 seconds of playing this game, and even your most... Oh no. Even your most skeptical friend will see and understand how a VR game can be a unique and distinctly different experience. Oh no. The one thing you won't do is carry on a conversation while doing it, unless that conversation is largely made of expletives. So from all of us here at All Your Base Online, this is Super Hypercube, a game that I would highly recommend to VR players everywhere.